In this session, we'll be seeing how to program using loops. So peculiarly, we'll be following or we'll be using for loop in this statement. So why do we use looping in program is obviously clear. For repetitive task or repetitive syntaxes to be replicated various times in a program, it may occur more or less. So we use loops. So here, let's create our script file and let's save it and name it as looping underscore prog in desktop. Yes, let's save it and let's try executing it. Yes, and then we'll start with our syntax or the loop structure. So it follows as this: for and a variable which will facilitate as an operating variable to that loop. Let's say that to be n, and for completing the loop we'll be using end statement. So for and end, it performs a loop. So we'll be displaying a message, let's say hello 10 times. So we'll be using this command, and then yes, it's get, and as we execute it, it gets displayed. And similarly, let's try with 5 also. Yes, it's same. So this is a simplest structure of how of our loop functions. So let's try a varied idea. Let's make nested for loops. Most of the time it may so happen that we have to make this nested form. So we'll write one for in the other or one loop in the other, and for arranging it we'll be using smart indent, or directly you can press Ctrl I. So it will get displayed automatically or it will be adjusted automatically, and as we execute it, so it gives. So inside loop runs 2 times and outside loop runs 3 times. So this is a simple loop we say, and so it gives a product like 3 into 6. 3 into 2 it's 6. So it hello gets displayed 6 times. Let's try with some more idea related to that loop. So we'll change this example for time being. Let's say we'll only consider one basic for loop, and let's try performing some summations or some values or some summations or mathematical idea. Let's say q equals n plus 1. So n will be starting from 1 to 3. So q will be having summations, or q will be displaying its value. Like every time n is incremented by default, it will go on adding onto the q, and we can display the same syntax, let's say q. So it will display every time the for loop executes, every time the syntax is executed. So q is displayed, and so it forms an array-like structure, but it's actually not an array. So let's try changing that range of that loop. So we can count the number. It's that simple. And now let's try appending a matrix. Like we more or less, or the maximum times it may happen like we will have to append a matrix so that every values for every execution of our loop gets stored into a variable. So appending is again easy. So we'll be defining q, and inside we'll have n. One thing to note is you can't access 0th element in an array. So we'll make it 1, and when you execute the same statement, but now let's say outside, so it gets appended in the same variable q. So that's a good property, or that will be useful property when you perform some application like Gauss method or fixed point iterations, or any application if you perform using repetitive functions like for loop. So it gets directly appended